He's among our favorites here on the show. Has a Heritage Restaurant there in Fort Lauderdale. It's red hot. It's smoking hot. Reno Sorbonne joins us here on the show, our hockey analyst. What is it that has these franchises turning on Gerard Gallant, no matter what level of success he has? Now we're no longer coaching, but I mean, it was 3 times he was doing well with the Panthers. They threw him off the team bus in a snow dip in Saskatchewan. He was doing great with the Vegas Golden Knights, and they sent him out to the Bunny Ranch there and said, "Hey, take one up the ass, Gerard. You're out of here." Doing well with the Rangers, and they wouldn't even sell him a knish on the street corner after a couple of years of what looked like pretty successful hockey. Well, what is it about that guy? Do you know anything on Gerard Gallant?
He was another one. You know, it's funny. First off, look, as a Panther fan, that shit that happened with him, that he got thrown off the plane or bus, that was the worst thing ever. If I were him, I would have waited for the whole front office to be like in the building, and I would have lit it on fire. Because that's bullshit, right?
They had Yager throwing his duffel bag out the window as they left him literally like in a snowdrift somewhere.
Yeah, like an orphan. It was fucking terrible, man. It was absolutely.
They gave him cab.
You know, I'm the first guy, man. If I got a problem with you, I'll pack your shit for you, and I'll throw it out the back myself. As I make the whole team just like defecate in it.
The time. Wake up with Defo, joined by Lubie. Welcome to the Defo Show.
All right. Morning, everybody. Great to be with you here. The Defo Show for a Thursday. We will have the trivia challenge today for your trivia players. So that's ready to go in about 10, 15 minutes or so with Dave Gurggles Gergely. And you can dial us up if you'd like to play the game at 954-471 0070. Yeah. I get that a little confused. It's almost like trying to remember your bank account numbers. Yeah. 0070, right?
Yes. 417.
417. Okay. All right. We got the number there. Everybody's clear on that. I would imagine. We started our morning briefing on Caffeine TV, speculating about this. And I mentioned this, and I'm curious just to see, explore this a little bit further. This business, and I started by saying, thank God my mother was wrong.
Yeah.
Because and I love my mother, you know that. I talked about her for many years on the air, and she passed away a couple of years ago. And was the sweetest of hearts, and always took great care of me, and was always there for me. I always knew that. But she, thank God, she was wrong about this, and I would imagine most parents were. Is this a Jewish thing, Lubie? I don't want to get into any kind of
I think it's Jewish at all.
Here.
I had never heard it from a Jew. It's interesting. Your mom said it. I always saw it in like TV shows and movies. They would always reference the thing you're about to say. Like, I never got that, and none of my friends ever brought that up. Ever.
No one ever implied to you that if you were masturbating too frequently,
you go blind.
There was more than a possibility you would go blind. I mean,
the science doesn't make any sense there. So, like, it would have been weird to say. At least
jerking off incessantly, you might get carpal tunnel.
Yes, your hands would hurt, or you'd fuck your elbow. You get tennis elbow.
Surprised I didn't have more blisters than Nolan Ryan. What are you talking about, Luke?
Why would your eyes go? Old school TV shows and movies always reference that, and I'm like, doesn't make any sense. I'm like, why? The two don't even go together.
I mentioned that to Big Al. I mean, he was saying, "Wow, you can still read the racing form without glasses." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "No, I couldn't begin to even see this thing." And I said, "What? You masturbate too much as a child, Big Al?" My mother would have been right in that case. No, but I bring this up for a reason. I mean, you're thinking, well, what the fuck is this guy talking about? But and why? Which I often ask myself as I'm in the middle of these things and thinking, is this entertainment? I don't know. But this eclipse thing, which we've dealt with this before, where, I mean, what is the deal that you're not supposed to look at it without those glasses that weren't they giving them away at like the 7-Eleven, or was not to see some kind of a 3D movie?
I wish you told me you cared about this, because we've been offered multiple scientists to talk about this fucking thing. That's how I know there was something coming. I'm like, eclipse. I'm like, I don't know what.
Well, we need somebody to talk about this. I think it would be worth exploring. No, on the show.
They said no to all of them because I didn't understand. I didn't think we gave a shit.
I mean, Neil deGrasse Tyson would be a good one on this, wouldn't he?
Fantastic, yeah, he'd be fantastic. I didn't know we cared about this. I didn't.
I wouldn't, except everybody's showing you these glasses and telling you not to look at it with the naked eye, which I've heard, before when other previous opportunities to view an eclipse. I guess what? How often does a total eclipse take place? Total eclipse of the sun.
I guess it's look. I remember when I was younger.
I mean, the moon's right there blocking the fucking thing, right? Isn't that the
10 to
deal?
20 years, every 10 to 20 years or so, something like that.
All right.
That
So
feels
there've been a few of them, and then they always show the people with the funky glasses. The obsession with viewing this is interesting because all of the news shows are portraying people and bringing people on that have flown from remote bastions of the universe to set up campers somewhere in Iowa where they might get the best view of this thing. Where they're trying to predict where you can get the best view. I guess there are certain areas where it's going to be more prominent than others. I mean, are we going to see it here? Do I go out on the beach there and look at this fucking thing? What do I do?
Well, I think you'll see it everywhere. It's an eclipse, but I guess there's certain areas where you'll see it better. I don't know. I'm not Mr. Eclipse.
All right. So what's the deal, man? How blind do you go if you look at this with the naked eye, and how can you resist it? Because everybody's telling you not to do it. So you want to see, it's like, all right, so what's the big deal about this?
Exactly.
What do you think, Lubie? I mean, do you have to remind yourself not to look at it? Or where do you get these glasses? Are they giving them away at Publix? What do we do?
You're going to get me to look into this now. So yes, I will have an answer for you before Monday.
How can you be sure the glasses are legit? Also, I mean that it's not just some clown who put two pieces of colored cellophane into a little cardboard thing, glasses configuration, and then you're going to look at it and it's going to be worse. What do you think?
Yes, that's a great question. Again, I don't know any of this. I never really look at the sun, so I presume I'll be fine because it doesn't dawn on me. Hey, go stare at the sun. So I presume I'll be okay. I think I remember looking up at it for I think if you look at it for a second, it's not an instant like some mythical Greek Usa shit. I don't think it's like that. I just think the idea is you're not supposed to stare at the fucking sun. And people are dumb, so they have to tell people
Excuse me.
You'll go blind if you masturbate, just so that they have it in their head. So maybe it curbs them because people are fucking weird. That's what I guess.
Oh God! I mean, and I always thank God that the internet wasn't around when I was in my prime masturbating years, formative years, where there could be some possible negative impact. Because I would have masturbated myself to death. I mean, with the internet. Can you imagine having that as a kid? Wow! Did you have No, you didn't have internet.
I was in college when I remember. Was I in or I was out of college and my buddy was talking about something called a red tube and I'm like an X tube. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
What is that?
We did have internet porn, but you had to download it. When I was in college when it became a thing, but you had to download it. It took a long time to fucking download. You had to watch the same fucking videos. But we did have that over watching, looking at a magazine or a fucking news article and trying to make this woman with a bathing suit something that we could enjoy.
There you go. Yeah. No, I mean, thank goodness we were, subjected to much more primitive methods of stimulation. Angel Hernandez, Andy says, must have stared at the sun at some point in time.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah. I mean, this guy can't see home plate, even while he's hovering right over it.
It's true.
All right, so we want to put a pin and pop the air and the balloon on a couple of myths. You don't go blind from masturbation. My mother was wrong, and I'm not sure what happens if you stare at this total eclipse. And an intellectual like our good friend Mike Mayo, he might know. Jim Sarney must know the realities of this. No. The consequences of staring at
Mayo probably does have knowledge because he seems to know about some things. I'm sure the professor, who's very well-rounded in his knowledge of life, probably has an understanding of this a lot more than we do. Yes.
I don't get it, Lubie, but I mean, what qualifies the glasses as being, on the side of safety?
Probably give you a layer of protection. I don't know. It's like UV with sunscreen.
Can you just grab anything? I mean, are there certified?
I don't know.
Glasses that would satisfy the conditions you need to protect yourself and preserve your eyesight from possible damage? I don't know. All right, well, we'll find out. That's Monday, Lubie. That's coming up Monday. We need to get some answers on that. And you guys are going to need to get some answers to the great trivia questions. Did we dive into a couple of things here real quickly, Lubie, about what's going on, or just go straight to Dave
Man, I mean, we
Gurggles
have
Gergely?
George is hanging out. He can join us. He's a sports enthusiast.
All right. All right. Let's bring on Gergs and see what he thinks about a couple of things. Gergs, how are you, my friend?
Doing fine. I was listening with great interest to your conversation
Yeah.
and the story about self-stimulation
Yes.
and blindness. I recall a story about the father downstairs who suspected his son in the upstairs bedroom of doing the same thing, and he yelled up to his son, stop that or you'll go blind. And he walked up the stairs, and his son said, hey, Dad, I'm over here.
Maybe some validity to it. I don't know where my mother got it from. I mean, she wasn't inclined to just believe in. Well, no, she believed in a lot of sort of mythical kind of things. That's for sure. All right, Gurggles. Many things happening, and of course, you saw this performance last week. This fierceness in the Florida Derby. Now, I know you hate favorites in general, and would never be inclined to back any chalk. It did. I mean, when I saw this horse in the paddock, I thought, "Uh-oh, this is a different animal than we looked at the last time." Not that he didn't look fine last time, but he really looked like he was on the muscle this time. And that was a mind blowing performance. I thought.
Unfortunately, it was also a cash blowing performance because I had 4 out of 5 going into the pick 5, and I had Hades and Conquest Warrior, and did not have Fierceness.
Oh wow!
The pick 5 with him paid $1,800.
Wow! I mean, you were so convinced that last race, the Hutchison.
Yeah, it was just stupidity on my part. Yeah, you
got to
throw out some races. Yep.
Yeah, you had to figure he had a chance. I mean, he had thrown in one stinker before, and quickly reversed form on that. So that was interesting. Are you following this Marlins saga with us? We are very much vested in the Marlins losing every game this year.
Yes, except the 3, I think, of the 7 Marlins games, or maybe 4, were daytime games.
Yeah.
And harkens me back to our old buddy Ed Kaplan's annuity. Yes. Bet the over in a Marlins day game.
I think, though, I mean, would that not have changed that premise because of the new ballpark? I don't know how that equates out.
It's still working. It's still working.
Yeah, they're scoring a lot of runs. Well, no, the Marlins aren't, but they're allowing the other team to score enough to accomplish the over on their own, which is great. You always love that. They've been fantastic. Well, we have the under 79 for the season. That was a complete contrast to our Deal Volkswagen campaigns of many years.
I remember
where we were, playing the over, and there was the drive for 75 and various other slogans that we campaigned, waving flags and carrying bobbleheads of the Marlins everywhere that we went, promoting them. And you know what's great? I mean, in this town, and you've been around with the sports crowds here in this town forever. 0-7 start, and nobody gives a shit either way, which is, I mean, you usually would see some level of at least feigned outrage at 0-7, and nothing. I see like maybe 1 or 2 guys allude to it on social media, and that's about it.
Yeah, well, it represents less than 5% of the season, and the bats aren't too bad. It's, for some reason, I guess the bullpen or whatever is not doing too well. Feel bad for the Skip Schumacher. I mean, he had a great year as a manager last year, and now I don't know what it is about these guys. I mean, I'll still go to the ballpark because I like baseball, but I'd like to see them do it. And I think this time of year, people in Miami or South Florida, you know how they are. Yeah. Well, the heat's still going on. The Panthers are in it. I'll follow them later on. If they were doing good, they'd be raving about it, but now they ignore them.
Yeah, I don't know if they really garnered that much attention anyway, no matter what they were doing, unless they could be in the World Series, and there would be many people that were completely unaware that we even had a team in town. All right, you ready for the challenge? Are you up to it today? Dave Gurggles Gergely, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful questions here. You got the Masters on tap. A lot of things that we can address here on the program. You can dial us up if you want to play the game, 954-471-0070. 954, oh no, is it 417, right?
417, yes.
Yeah.
It is on the screen, guys. Whoever's watching, it's 417.
Yeah, the number's up there, even if I'm going to butcher it. 954-417-0070. 954-417-0070. If you've given out phone numbers many times on radio shows. Did you ever just accidentally give out like your cell phone number as the number to call?
No, but back from old commercials like I'd see on WOR, like Market 7, 0900 or something
Yeah.
like that, or
Murray
Junior
Hill.
Step from
Murray Hill
Yeehaw.
was one of my favorite exchanges. I think that was the exchange for DeCarlo lots. I don't know if you ever caught those ads. It was mostly a New Jersey thing, and I would imagine that there might have been some underworld ties that went along with the sale of those lots, and there are probably some bodies buried underneath them. Because my favorite was you had to buy a minimum of 8 of these DeCarlo lots to be able to initiate a purchase. Not 1, not 5, but 8 of these Carlo lots, and I don't know whether I think they were on some garbage dump, some trash dump somewhere outside of Staten Island. All right, we're coming back with the trivia challenge in a moment. Dave Gurggles Gergely has the questions. You can win a Landlubber's gift certificate. Lubie will be there later on tonight with the standout live trivia competition anywhere in town, and you know, many people would vouch for that. Gergs,
It's true.
including you. I mean,
Yeah, I would. I was there last week, helped the Chronics to a 4th place finish. Yes.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be afraid to tell them if it sucked. I mean, you'd be the first.
Oh,
So you know, your acknowledgement is very strong there, and a Mayo man loved it. Everybody that goes says it's terrific. So check that out tonight. Landlubbers. That's Pine Island and Sunrise. Is it Nob Hill or Pine Island? Pine Island, right?
Pine Island and Sunrise Boulevard.
Okay, right there in that area there by the. It's sort of near the arena if you're going to any Panther games. Also, a great place to stop in either before or after the game. All right, coming back with the trivia challenge in a moment. Now that
The time.
It's 8:28. In style at Champions, the outstanding simulcasting room at beautiful Hialeah Park. Yes, the grand old lady of thoroughbred racing has never been more vibrant, and you can wager on the races from the top tracks around the country while enjoying a cocktail at the Brass Rail Bar or any of the fine food served throughout the facility. If poker is your game, you're covered in style, and you can play all your favorite Vegas-style games, including blackjack, craps, and roulette, in Hialeah Park's sizzling hot casino. Get a player's card when you walk through the door for all kinds of generous amenities, including our favorite, free play, when you come out to the ultimate casino and entertainment destination, Hialeah Park.
These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill in Plantation, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers, Raw Bar and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.
Are you looking to buy your first home? Have you been turned down for a loan? Do you need to refinance or get money out of your home? Call Michael Kodsey, CEO of Choice Mortgage. He's been helping the South Florida community get mortgages for 30 years.
Hi, this is Michael Kodsey, CEO of Choice Mortgage. We have the most competitive fixed rates in the market. Call me 24/7, 561-441-2730. And remember, I don't just work banking hours. To make the right choice for your home, call Choice Mortgage today.
Oh, Solo Volante will be coming late. Oh, Solo Volante, the Belmont's now 1.8 miles. The finish line is coming up quick. Luca Panici, just switch the stick.
The only way to get your morning started is with Defo, joined by Lubie, right here on the Defo Show.
Welcome back to the show again. Set for the trivia challenge. Dave Gurggles Gergely, the master of ceremonies there. That was the Polyman with O Solo Volante, a brilliant rendition of the tune that he penned himself. I mean, it was an adaptation of a very popular piece of music. But nonetheless, the Polyman had a couple of horses that looked like they were swinging their way into serious consideration once the Derby rolled around. At big prices. You know, he's the king of the futures. And did fierceness just blow that all out of the water? Or you still have to figure anything can happen in the Kentucky Derby. Would you say that's the correct approach?
Yeah, I wouldn't think he would have that easy a lead with a bigger field in there. And that's what I expected there. But
yeah.
No, the other thing is, I don't know if Lubie can ever find it. Another song that Paulie did with the Kentucky Derby Blues with the getting married in the month of May, and the girl next to him looked just like
Lafitte Piquet.
I mean, if we could find that one, that was a classic.
It may be evaporated into cyberspace permanently. That's quite possible. Very unfortunate that the entire collection was never really put together. All right, ready for the game here. The trivia challenge. Dave's going to have the questions for you. Dial us up if you want to play, 954-417-0070. And without further delay, we get into it in the traditional fashion in honor of the Polyman with Dave Gurggles Gergely and some
Easy baseball. This pitcher, when asked if he ever threw a spitball, replied, and not intentionally, but I do sweat easily. What's that? Lefty Gomez, Preston Gomez, Gomez Adams, or Adam Dunn?
All right, let's spin the random phone scrambler. All right, lands on the great thespian Pat. Pat, you're on the trivia challenge. Good morning, sir.
What do you say, guys? Hey?
Good morning.
He is correct. Nice job. I remember seeing Gaylord Perry after he pitched a game when I was in the visitors' clubhouse covering a Dodger game, and this guy literally was covered in goo. I mean, there was no secret about it. It was amazing. It was as greasy as anything that you've ever seen. He looked like he was in one of those, oil wrestling contests that they used to have at Bootleggers. It was incredible, and nobody they just like shrugged it off. It was great, kind of like Otani's betting problem. All right, 1 point going for two.
All right, Pat, football. Believe it or not, this week on Wheel of Fortune, Pat Sajak referenced the late, great Don Shula. True or false?
I didn't see the show. I'll say true.
Yes.
True? Yes.
What happened at the end of the show, Pat asked Vanna if she ever swam with the dolphins. She said yes. And Pat said, I never swam with the dolphins, but I was in a hot tub with Don Shula once.
Very curious, Gurggles. All right. 2 for 2, Pat. Going for 5.
All right, Pat, let's take it back to March Madness history. Which national champ in March Madness won both their semifinal and championship games in triple overtime, playing a total of 110 minutes in the Final Four?
Wow.
Was that LaSalle, North Carolina, California, or Cincinnati?
California.
No, you got to go back to 1957 when in the semifinals, I believe, they beat Wilt Chamberlain's Kansas team in triple overtime. And that was led by, I think, a guy named Len Rosenbluth way back.
Wow. Len Rosenbluth?
Yep, he played for North Carolina. He was quite a player.
You know what? I saw that. Is he not the all-time Jewish guy? Is the all-time leading scorer at North Carolina? Is that possible?
He was
Really?
I believe that to be true. And he's like ahead of everybody that ever played there, man. This guy could have been the rabbi at my shul, and instead he turned out to be better than Michael Jordan. All right, going for 7.
All right, Pat, let's switch over to baseball. Who was the most recent pitcher to have 4 consecutive 20-win seasons?
Oh.
Vida Blue, Dave Stewart, Jim Palmer, or Juan Marichal?
Stewart.
Dave Stewart, he said.
Stewart.
That's correct.
That's
Dave
correct.
Stewart. He nailed it.
He knew that without hesitation, Pat. Outstanding player. I mean, that's one thing for sure. They may be chronics, but they are outstanding players, these guys.
Hang around, Pat. You may be in the final.
Hang around, Pat. 7 points set a pace here on the Trivia Challenge. 954-417-0070 is the number to call if you'd like to play the game. We have the Landlubber's gift certificate we're giving away here, right here in town. Lubie will be there tonight. And if Gurggles heads out there, I would imagine at some point in time you walk outside and light up a big fat Perdomo cigar, no?
Matter of fact, I did it Saturday for your good buddy Doc Reno in his broadcasting tournament for a great charity, My Family Matters. And it was at Plantation Preserve. We raised a lot of money, and it was a real fine organization. But there, I'm at the Maldives right there. You don't have to travel 26 hours to have a Perdomo cigar. You can pick one up right at 5150 Northwest 167th Street on the Palmetto on the south side, just a little bit east of the Home Depot. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. You want to go there on a Saturday or Sunday, that's not a problem. You can do so, but they're closed. So go online, www.perdomocigars.com to find a retailer near you that sells these great cigars. So this weekend, when you're getting ready for the big Live tournament, maybe you're going down to Doral, you're going to smoke a cigar down there, or maybe you want to watch opening day at Keeneland out on your porch or on the breezeway at some local parimutuel. Make sure you put something great in your mouth with a cigar from Perdomo Cigars, which I will be there later today to pick up the Robusto and the Churchills that we sell right here at Miami Lakes Golf Club, where big things are happening in the future that we'll tell you about as well.
Do they even need to have like one traffic cop on hand for the crowd to handle the crowd for the Live Tour? Remember when Doral was cranking as a golf tournament? Tiger Woods was out
you had
there.
to park way down and
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Take a bus to catch the tram that got you to the golf course.
I
there.
remember that very, very well.
Live Tour. I saw some aerial shots of like 18 when they were playing there. What, last year? And I mean, literally, there were like 4 people out there watching this stuff happen. That's the easiest way to disappear, isn't it? Join and sign up for the Live Tour, and yet they're still, prominently sticking it up the ass of the PGA.
You disappear with 7 figures in your bank account. It's not a bad way to go.
Unbelievable, yeah. Phil Mickelson, he had to be worth every penny of the $200 million the Saudis gave him to promote this thing, no? You don't even know if he's still playing. All right, ready for our next set of questions?
Yes,
Here's a guy that's very prominent, easy to find. I would imagine he'll be in his usual spot there, right side of the bar down at Nando's. On the first floor at Gulfstream Park. Here's Dave Gurggles Gergely with our next set of questions.
Boxing. This British boxing manager on his sudden fame said, before Don King started insulting me, I was a complete unknown in this country. Now people stop me and ask for my autograph. What's that? Frank Maloney, Don Maloney, Slip Mahoney, or Paul Winchell and Jerry Mahoney?
Brilliant comic actor, Slip Mahoney. All right, here's a random phone scrambler. They were always at the track, those guys, too. Did you notice that? There was a big gambling theme sort of working its way through that program. Mike, you're on the Trivia Challenge. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning, guys. It's good to be back. I was up in cold, rainy Pennsylvania. Dave.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, I'm glad you got out of there okay. So you do have 1 point, and you're already in the game there. Very
Mike,
much in the competition.
Where were you in Pennsylvania?
My daughter lives in Mechanicsburg.
I know it very well. I'll be heading to Allentown June 1st for the Lehigh Valley Old Time Athletes get together. And a lot of guys talking about how good we actually weren't back then. But right.
Get ready for the question, Gurggles. What
True or
happened
false?
to you? Yeah.
True or false, Mike? Believe it or not, Defo led us with a great segue. Golf. As the fans gear up for the league's star-studded event in Miami Lives Golf, believe it or not, today's pairings were selected by the fans' emails. True or false?
True.
That's right.
Yeah, all
That's
right.
right.
Very
They let
good,
the
man.
fans vote who would play with who.
Sounds good, man. Who's Weesty playing with? Oosterhouse.
I don't know. I like that guy, though.
He's good, but he's got to be like 72 years old.
That's why I like him. He's a contemporary.
All right. So what do we got? 2 going for 5?
Yes, sir.
Very nice.
All right, Mike, let's go back to March Madness. Which NCAA champ was the first to shoot better than 50% from the field for the whole season? Was that Ohio State, UCLA, Kansas, or Duke?
Let's go UCLA.
1965. The
Wow.
UCLA team did it.
He made every shot. Unbelievable. You see what's happening here, looming on the horizon. The possibility of a sweep-a-roni. Tough game there so far. You're in second, Mike. Go to a chance to automatically qualify for the playoffs.
All right, Mike, hope you're a hockey fan. Who had the first ever hat trick for our Florida Panthers?
All right.
Was that Ray Shepard, Johan Garpenlov, Scott Mellenby, or Dave Gagne?
Shepard.
No.
No.
He had the second and
Don't tell me
third.
it was Garpenloff.
Yes, it was.
What?
It's January 6th, 1996 versus the Washington Caps.
Jesus Christ. All right, well, you're
that was
maybe in the finals.
I mean, you had to have a little suspicion about that because you're thinking, well, what would have possessed Gurggles to come up with Johan Garpenlov, who what would have been well buried in terms of the overall greats that performed here in the city of or the area of South Florida. All right, dial us up if you want to play. 954-417-0070. Good game working here. Pat with 7, Mike with 5, and was on the precipice of a possible sweep. 954-417-0070 if you'd like to play the game. Lubie's going to be at Landlubbers later on tonight. That really is a great place. That's unreal. Today's dining scene, too. You can appreciate a place that keeps its prices under control, and not only under control, but well under the norm for that similar quality that you get, and all of the variety you get at Landlubbers. How does Safrine do it? Does it? I mean, how does he do it?
That's a
the blackened salmon teriyaki rice bowl, unbelievable. You know, the cheeseburger special tonight. You can't find a better cheeseburger. I like to get there early and have some nice cold peel and eat shrimp. What a great place to go.
Good spot, man. Yeah, they got everything working there. From raw bar type of stuff all the way through steaks, anything that you want. All right, let's continue. Dave Gurggles Gergely, our next set of questions with this hotly contested game working right now. All right, we might have froze out Gurggles here. What is this, Dean Smith offense that we're working?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Your face looks great, that last pose.
But no, it did not look great. Let's try it again.
I'm going to try it again? Okay, Gurgs, we'll see if we can get you back in here.
There he is. Let's see what happens now.
All right, what do you think, Levine? You got him?
Spinning and spinning.
Spinning? Uh-oh.
We can take a break if you want.
All right, let's run a couple of spots here, as they say, and then we'll come back with Dave Gurggles Gergely in our next set of questions, which he's in the midstream of asking. And hopefully we'll be able to sync everything up. Otherwise, it's going to look like one of those kung fu movies with the translations and the subtitles. All right, back with more in a moment. Now that. It's 8:43.
Segreto here. Let me ask you a question. What do you look for when you go out to eat? Good food, obviously. Friendly atmosphere, not too loud, but good energy, reasonable prices, and a place where you feel comfortable. All those ingredients, no pun meant there, are hard to find unless you're talking about the Texas Roadhouse. You see, they encompass all of those attributes. Really, really good food, amazing atmosphere, good for a family, good for a date, or just a night out for yourself, and prices that will make you extremely happy. Their ribs, unmatched. Steaks, hand-cut every day. Everything, and I mean everything, is made on site, including their incredible bread. It's the one day, folks, that you can forget about low-carb diets. Trust me when I tell you, Texas Roadhouse, your restaurant, your destination when you say, where should we go and eat tonight?
From the newly renovated sports bar to the beautiful bayside views captured at the Tiki Bar, Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill has it all. Located at mile marker 104, the Big Chill also offers waterfront dining while experiencing breathtaking sunset views of the Florida Keys. It's simply the hottest spot in the Keys to cool off. That's Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill at mile marker 104 in Key Largo. For more information, call today at 305-453-9066.
Are we all in stable but critical condition? Is that the way all life is, Lubie? In a general, more figurative sense? Would you say you're in stable but critical condition? I believe you are right now.
Probably.
On the threshold of getting married in the early portion of 2021. Don't you think it's a little soon, kid? You barely noticed one. What are you doing?
We've been together 4 years.
Well, I guess you know enough.
How much longer do you want her to put up with me?
Is it you that's pushing for this?
It's equal. We're both very happy and in love. It's very gross.
Oh, my God. All right. It's a foreign concept. You have to understand where I'm coming from. 0 for 2 with a walk. And, right now I think I got a 3-2 count in the marriage from 3. And only because of the benefit of a really poor call on a ball that was clearly right down the middle of the plate. You know, one of those Angel Hernandez calls. Get out of here.
Enjoy your trip to work with lots of laughs thanks to Defo and Lubie. Now on the Defo Show.
All right, I think through the marvels of technology, we've managed to correct the problems with Dave Gurggles Gergely. And he is now moving again, and much more animated than he was when he was frozen stiff here. Just a short minutes ago, we had a mugshot of Gurggles, one of those Nick Nolte mugshots. How come nobody ever looks good when they're frozen in one of these situations, too?
Always
with like some weird geeked out look on your face. Like, now I'm acting like Donald Trump here. All right, let's get into it here. We have players standing by. 954-417-0070. Here's Gurgs with our next set of questions.
Football. This Saints general manager talking to a reporter after a tough loss on a controversial call said, "Sorry, I'm not allowed to comment on a lousy officiating." What's it? Jim Finks, Ratzo Rizzo, or Anthony Rizzo?
All right, we're going to roll the random phone scrambler. And all right, we always have to check on this because if it was Jim Sarney, the answer would be yes. Are you coming to us from any kind of medical facility or institution? Andy, you're on the trivia challenge. Hello, Andy.
A mental institution, did you say? Or, what did you say?
I was going to say.
Yeah, mental institution, I guess. Yeah, that would qualify.
Yes.
I watched Cuckoo's Nest, the beginning of it, the other day, man. What a great movie that is. It really was unreal. Schiavelli's in it. I forgot that, too. Vincent Schiavelli, my favorite character actor.
Yes. I left the hospital last time. They brought a guy in that was like the main character in that show. I'll go home. It's all right. I don't need the test to find out if I'm.
Yeah. All of a sudden, you got Cheswick in the next bed. It encourages you to get well quickly. All right, you just pull the shit right off, and okay, I'm out of here. Check me out. All right, you're in the game, Andy. Welcome. Welcome in.
I gotta throw this in before we start.
Yeah.
I watched the Dodger game last night, and I succumbed to betting on that Hard Rock app. And I said, you know what, Shotani's due for a homer.
Yeah.
13-1.
You did a prop on Ohtani hitting his first home run, and you
and you hit. Nice.
During the at bat with an 0-1 count.
Nice. Oh, really? He already had a strike on him.
You did in at bat.
In at bat sports betting. Yeah.
Oh my
God! I got 1,300 plus 1,300.
It's not, and it's the worst thing that could happen because he hit. It's really like Devo talks about the kid that goes to the track and wins the first fucking time.
Yeah.
It would actually been better if you didn't hit because now you're going to be doing this like a fucking.
You're going to be betting this shit all the time. Ground ball double play coming up. It's going to be 4-6-3.
We passed that threshold when I was 8 years old. I'm 67 on. I'm 67 on Sunday, so that's 59 years. I don't think it's reverting.
Seems to be a definitive trend. All right, true false question coming up from Dave Gurggles Gergely.
All right, Andy, sticking with baseball. In a game in which he became the fourth player in history to play all 9 positions, Texas Rangers Scott Sheldon, believe it or not, had no balls hit to him at any of the positions.
Wow.
The only time he caught the ball was a strikeout as a catcher. True or false?
Wow.
Gee, Cesar Tovar. False.
False, he says.
No,
true.
it's true.
Wow.
That's true.
I feel like that had to be.
I was thinking it was true because
Yep.
otherwise, why would you have brought it up?
I didn't even know he did that. I didn't even know he was one of those guys that did that.
Yeah. Campy Campaneris is the guy that always, it pops up when
And
I'm
Cesar
thinking about
Tovar.
that.
Cesar Tovar.
Cesar Tovar, yes. Very nice. All right, you have 1 point going for 4.
All right, back to March Madness. Between 1939 and 2000, University of Pennsylvania was the last Ivy League team to make the Final Four. And then they were beaten by who? What was that? Arizona, Indiana, Michigan, or Michigan State?
Arizona.
Zona. No.
No, it was the Spartans of Michigan State that beat them.
Okay.
You know, that was going to be my third choice.
Very much alive to make the finals. You need this one.
In the finals,
Yes.
you get this, yeah.
You get this
All
right.
right, baseball. Baseball, Andy. Which former Yankee set the record for the most consecutive World Series games with at least 1 hit in each game? Was that Derek Jeter, Bobby Richardson, Hank Bauer, or Johnny Blanchard?
What were the first two?
Derek Jeter, Bobby Richardson, Hank Bauer, or Johnny Blanchard?
Bobby Richardson, Jeter and Richardson.
I'll go I'll go with Bobby Richardson.
That's what I would have said. No,
No.
get out of here.
It was the bodyguard. Hank Bauer did it. 17 in a row.
Hank
Oh.
Bauer.
Wow.
Hank Bauer.
All right.
Do I win with one? I had 1 point. Do I win?
You're fucked.
We love you.
Comes
You
under the
win our
category
hearts.
of you're fucked.
I'll see you
All right,
later.
very good, Andy. Thanks for playing the game. Always good to hear from Andy and know that he's okay and he's not being contained in
Any
some
medical facility. Wow, good looking.
medical facility right now. Wow. Running the streets of South Florida. Yeah, time to go to South Beach, man. The spring breakers have cleared out. All right, we're going to go to the finals here and put it together. Gurggles, another word for Perdomo Cigars, but we do have to give a special shout out. I don't know if she's still on board with us here. The lovely Beth Bernstein tuned in earlier today. I don't know if she's getting the video or the audio version of the program, but
She's terrific. Yeah.
Beth Bernstein, always a big advocate of the Trivia Challenge, and especially campaigning for the Polyman. I think I could find you some sponsors, Polyman. That would be great.
I think if we could have taken this back 20, 25 years ago with
Yeah.
Beth aboard as our national sales rep, we could have been syndicated and been multi-zillionaires.
Syndicated
But-
and vindicated, yes.
Yeah, probably right.
Now we have to count on this betting app that hopefully we'll be monitoring our progress with that soon and encouraging people to sign up and just spend their money with us. It'll be awesome. All right. We will. Perdomo Cigars. Tell us about Perdomo Cigars.
Sure.
I got so distracted here thinking about the lovely Beth
305
Bernstein.
627-6700, the number to call. 5150 Northwest 167, the place to go. And Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Go in there. Nuvia will send you to the big humidor where our great late friend, the Mad Dog Jim Mandich, built, and great cigars. They make them perfect one at a time. Cuban seed tobacco grown in Nicaragua. My personal favorite, Lot 23. Here at the golf course, we've got the Robusto and the Churchill versions of Perdomo cigars. You can get them right here or go right there. Monday through Friday, though, they're open. Saturday, Sunday, you want one? Go online, www.perdomocigars.com to find a retailer near you. So tonight, when the Chronics finish in fourth place, again, put something great in your mouth with a cigar from Perdomo Cigars.
A couple of non-menacing fourth-place finishes back-to-back. I mean, that's when you start to consider putting a line through that one, which you can never discount the Chronics, I would imagine, in this live competition that Lubie MCs. All right, we're set for the finals. Speaking of Chronics, Pat and Mike are going to square off for the championship of today's edition of the Trivia Challenge here on the Defo Show. Dave's going to fire off a question. Call out your name if you'd like to answer right away. Nobody does that. We offer multiple choice. The first person to call out his name gets first choice. And we go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until we have a winner. Good luck, gentlemen, for the championship of today's Trivia Challenge. Here is the great Dave Gurggles Gergely.
And just an aside, Pat, as a thespian, would know this. Pat and Mike was the name of a great Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn movie where she was a terrific golfer and he was her sports agent. So
Oh, yeah?
they would know.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
What was
All
that
right, here we
ever? Was that ever the content of the program on rain delay theater? Did you get a lot of rain delay theater in your youth?
That one, I don't know if that one's
There
ever
was
on there.
always some really boring Jimmy Stewart movie, and you would find yourself watching it and just wishing you had gone to school instead. All right, here we go for the championship.
Tough one, guys. Back to March Madness. Who are the only two teams to play in the Final Four in their hometown?
All right,
Was
there's
it
multiple choice.
UCLA and Houston, Butler and UCLA, NC State and Butler, or Louisville and UCLA?
Wow.
Mike.
Mike got in first.
What do you got, Mike?
Answer C.
C.
C is incorrect.
Okay. Pat.
Three left for
Pat,
Pat.
is it A, UCLA and Houston, B, Butler and UCLA, or D, Louisville and UCLA?
We know UCLA was one of them. What was that?
There.
What was that? We missed it. I stepped on you.
B as in boy?
B as in boy?
Boy. Yeah.
Yes.
C as in correct. That's right.
Wow.
Butler and UCLA. Pat is the winner.
There you
Good
go.
job, Pat. All right. Hopefully I'll see you later.
Very nice, Pat. Good job. All right, so Pat's a winner, and hopefully he'll show up at Landlubbers tonight, pick up his prize there, so Lubie won't have to spend, what is it now for a stamp, like $1.80? Mail a letter? Has anybody mailed a letter recently outside of,
Yes.
sending
I
out
did.
bills, I guess? Yeah.
I mail them all the time.
All right, well, what are you going to pay for a stamp these days?
I don't know. I buy them by the book, and they charge me, I don't know, $10 or $11 for
All right,
booking 20. So it's 50 cents and change or something.
All right, still worth it, I guess,
Yeah.
when you have to factor in inflation considerations. All right, hopefully the Marlins will go to 0-8 today. You know what it is? It doesn't matter how much or how little money you have on a proposition bet. You just want to be right. You don't want to look like a fool at the end of the year when you predicted it was going to be absolutely catastrophic for the team based on something that you thought that you had inside track information on, and then they turn out great, right? They end up losing in the World Series in a 7th-game thriller. But you just want to be vindicated that you were right once in a while, and this is certainly starting out well. At what point, Gurggles, do we start hanging around at the windows to try and collect this? Under 79 on the Marlins win total this season.
Geez, I don't know. I would guess
Sometime in August? Yeah.
Probably by the date I'm going to Saratoga, August 15th.
You have some good things lined up, Gurggles. I mean, you're
I'm
going
going
back to
June, and this Friday I'll be at Miami Shores Golf Course for North Miami Beach Police Athletic League.
How is that track, Miami Shores Golf Club? I think I played there a couple of times. Good?
Yeah, real, and this is a really great cause for the North Miami Beach PAL, the Police Athletic League. They do a great job. So
very nice.
It'll be my pleasure.
Very nice. All right, Gurgs, always a pleasure, my friend. You have a great day. We hope to run into you maybe tomorrow out there at Gulfstream Park. That would be awesome.
Yeah, Keeneland opening day.
Ooh, is that tomorrow or Saturday?
It's tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Great place to go, man. Great place to go. The Mecca, the Nirvana for horse players, Keeneland. I don't know that you would fully appreciate it, Lubie, but that's because you haven't, had the sport in your blood for, unfortunately. I mean, they were looking for what blood type I was, and I said thoroughbred.
Exactly.
It's been in my blood since I was a kid, and yeah, Keeneland really is. It's a trip. You just stare out there when you're, even if you're getting clobbered at the time, and you think, "My God, take me, God! I've died and gone to heaven. This is great." All right, we're going to see you later on. We'll be at Taco Craft, and that's Lauderdale by the Seas edition of Taco Craft.
Yeah, you're neck of the woods, yes, sir.
Always jamming, man. That place is always crowded.
Yep,
I mean, it's amazing. We've done. Well, I pass by there all the time, and they've just been killing it, man. I mean, one of the more popular places in an area of great restaurants, where there are many. So we'll be out there later on with Mike Mayo. Now, how many days has he, forced us to suffer through this whole new campaign?
It started yesterday. Oh, you didn't hear? Yes, this one will stick. Just hearing the information I heard. Yes, in the past he had gotten the warnings. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, it was like you're going to lose a leg if you don't do this? Yeah.
It wasn't to your actual specific threat.
Yeah.
The actual thing he's dealing with is real. So. Yes,
oh, really? Okay. He doesn't want to.
He'll be keeping this, and I will actually be on him to make sure he keeps this because it'll allow him to continue to live the life he lives. And if he doesn't, it will be a very different life. So yeah,
I believe this. You really pay for. I mean, when you get to your 70s, if you're lucky enough to get there, you pay for a lot of the shit that you did and didn't do.
Yep.
And, when you were in, especially 40s, like your mid 50s onward, like you want to try and be in shape at that period of time. If you could go back and do it again, you would make sure you were in as good a shape as you could be at that time.
I've been watching What I Eat since college, since high school to college, just because it's why not. So I've gotten whatever. Yes, I will eat all types of stuff, and you guys make fun of me, but if you actually watch, I don't gorge. I know I grab a lot, and Jersey will make fun of me grabbing different things. If you actually watch the amount of food I eat, I don't actually gorge. And then after the shows, I eat a little bites the rest of the day. I eat a lot of small meals. It's the best thing you can do. Male, sadly, does a lot of these big meals, and that's the worst thing for your body. Your body does not digest them well.
I don't think you're built to eat 3 like full meals. Even like if you were going by somewhat normal standards, right, where you had breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But if
small meals, if
that includes like 3 meals that you would consider individually to be like large meals, I don't think the body's equipped to deal with that anymore. I really don't.
It's not.
Unless you're just eating. But I mean, if you're eating standard stuff that like most people, the average person would have, like bacon and eggs or whatever for breakfast, then you're coming back with like a cheeseburger for lunch and a full dinner.
Nah, that's a lot. I don't.
I couldn't come close to that. I mean, and be anything but a fucking blimp. I mean,
he won't talk about it on the show like he did before. That's the one thing that's fucking annoying.
He became insufferable with it. Well, I could eat this. See, I could eat this rubber band here. I mean, you're like, what the fuck?
We didn't do it yesterday.
Yeah.
Mark's the one that
All
kept
right,
bringing it.
we won't egg him on then. All right.
He was good about not talking about it,
Yeah.
and it's not going to affect me. You know me; I'm going to still order fun, interesting shit because that's
Yeah.
the point of being there is the fun, interesting stuff.
Whatever that salad was we had last time, I wish I could remember the name of it. It was
They
fantastic.
do
I
a
want
bunch
to
of
do it
different
again.
stuff.
Yeah.
Taco Craft's great, so I'm really excited to get back there today.
I'm going to have to look on their menu there and figure that out. All right, we'll be there 1 o'clock today. That'll be a lot of fun. Tomorrow, Degenerate Friday. We'll feature the professor, his predictions on the Final Four games that are coming up. I would imagine now he has to pick both the men's and the women's since he's become an expert on it. Jim Sarney was all over him for, and me, of course. And you don't escape the wrath of Sarney by any measure of the imagination, Lubie, because he thinks that you're completely gender biased. So you actually watch a game, and he was still critical of
Oh yeah, for
what
sure.
he thought was your asinine
Oh yeah,
position
now
on the
we'll
game.
watch.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I told you. I never said I hated the sport. I never said I've never watched in my life. I've openly many a player of women's basketball. Like
Yeah.
I've discussed lots of them. So obviously I've watched it in my life.
Yeah.
I've said it's boring compared to the men's. For me, I hold that true. I literally said that in my explanation of watching that game. I gave them credit for that game. I've seen other games pop up and they bore me to tears.
Yeah.
That game was played a little bit more physically. That game had a little bit better pace for my liking. It didn't convert me and it didn't make me whatever, a bullshitter. I've been pretty true to who I am. And Caitlin Clark, I give her credit. I still think she's a chucker. It didn't change my opinion of her. She's shooting shots from 40
But it's cool that she's a chucker in a women's game.
but she's
It really
a good
is.
chucker. She again is very much like Trae Young in college. No one wants to admit that.
Yeah.
The dude led college in scoring and assists. That's what Caitlin Clark's doing.
She plays a somewhat similar style. She does, as Trae Young.
It doesn't mean she's bad. Again, chucker for you guys was the ultimate sin. For me, we didn't use the word chucker growing up. For me, we used the word ball hog. If you were a ball hog,
Asshole, that was
person-
another word.
Exactly. Was a
Yeah.
person you didn't want to fucking play with because you were never getting the goddamn ball.
You
A
just didn't want
chucker,
the guy on your team, even if you were going to win.
she chucks, but she's great at it. So good for her.
Yeah.
You know, like good for her.
Oh no, yeah, very entertaining. I'll watch that game for sure, and I'm a big fan of watching the antics of one Gino Auriemma, and I've become a fan of this Paige Beckers. I think she really is a good ball player overall. Just male or female notwithstanding, but she's a good ball player, and you respect that, right? So somebody that knows. I mean, especially if you moved to Florida and you came down here from a place that had good basketball fundamentals, Lubie. And you would do the simplest of plays, and the guy would run the other way, and you're thinking, well, what are you doing? I mean, do you guys have any clue how to play this game? So it's nice to see the women that understand that and can play the game as if, at any level they could walk out there in the court and they wouldn't be completely lost. It's great. So, it'd be a lot of fun. All right, we'll have that all for you tomorrow. We'll be out at Taco Craft. Come on by, say hello to Mike Mayo, and help him in his quest to get that number on track. That must have really scared the shit out of him because he was not going in that
He was
direction.
fucking cool 2 days ago. All the other numbers were good. He still was going to curb and do moderation, but he wasn't going to drastically change to where it was annoying. And then he got a number that wasn't good at all.
Yeah.
So now he has to be really, really, really on it. Again, it won't affect what you do. You already
You don't want diabetes, man. You don't want that.
You
That's for
said
sure.
the word. I
Yeah.
was trying to dance around and let him say the word, but yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty
The big D.
understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty understandable what the fuck it was. It's
Yeah.
Mike Mayo. And he's told us he's been close to it on air, so it's not a secret. But so it'll affect his eating. You already eat pretty healthy. I'm gonna still try different shit because that's what I love about these restaurants. And he just won't talk about it constantly. He might take a bite here and there because again, he can take a bite. The problem with him is he eats the full meal with us, then a full meal, then a full meal. So at least if he curbs his eating appetites with us, maybe that'll lead to him curbing his appetites the rest of the day. That's my hope.
Yeah. A lot of measures you could take. But it looked like a step in the right direction anyway yesterday. That was great. All right. We'll see you guys 1 o'clock today on South Florida Live. Let's Eat South Florida has like 150,000 subscribers, and you can catch the show there. Live as well on Facebook, and it's always fun seeing what Mayo has to say about these things. All right, we'll catch you later on as we leave you know that. Thanks, Lubie. Always a pleasure. We'll see you next time. It is 9:05.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Look what they done to my soul.